earnings, and that would leave a net income of 140 million. That is a net worth income of about 12 million. However, those families have coffee, goats as an investment that has enabled them to get themselves out of poverty. This transformation has happened in the whole capital corridor of southern Uganda, southern of the Nile. And this includes districts such as Isingiro, Ntungamo, Barara, Shema, Bushenyi, Chiruhura, Kazo, Liantonde, part of Rakai, Chegegwa, Kabarole, Kamwenge, Chenjojo, Chiboga, Nakaseke, and Chenkwanzi, Masindi, Nakasongola, and Chiriandongo. Now in more news this evening, the Uganda police has given account to the increasing spat of crime wave dubbed Flying Kicks attack and rob, and calls to the public to not to panic and enhance personal vigilance. Police spokesperson Fred Enanga, while speaking to the media, reiterated on the increasing rate of unemployment and the main catalyst to this increasing rate of crime in Kampala metropolitan. We have more.
Police and security agencies have enhanced cracking down on criminal gangs that have been terrorizing the city and environs. At least 20 have been arrested as police and security agencies continue tracking the criminals. Of recent, the public was awash with videos of criminals attacking people with new techniques of flying kick, attack and rob, which has brought panic among the public.
In which disturbing images of violent attacks by organized criminal gangs on foot and motorcycles raised concerns from the public, most of whom expressed fear after the criminal gangs were seen hitting people on the streets, using flying kicks to attack and rob.
The police spokesperson Fred Enanga told the media during a weekly press briefing that the hunt is on.
We managed to arrest several individuals behind these violent attacks, behind the new wave of flying kick attack and grab incidents. And also we noticed that all these attacks are motivated by theft and robbery.
Uganda police has given account to some of these videos and culprits arrested.
In the operations we carried out, which were intelligence-led, we managed to identify the suspects from their areas of residence, and we managed to recover items that include 4 mobile phones, 1 DVD player, a pair of army shoes, 2 sharpened pangas, iron bars, and also claw bars, an army camouflage hat, 1 pair of punching gloves.
On the Benikiwanka incident, police arrested 2 suspects by reviewing the retrieved CCTV footage.
We have Tagaba Sharif, alias Musoga, Kwesiga Sulaiman, and Senfuka Zawad. These are suspects who spend most of their time in Nachivubo Channel. And if you notice, they are a group of very young adults.
Banks are urged to enhance security of their premises and guide customers on the safe transportation of cash to save them from unscrupulous bystanders around banks.
So banks also need really to expand, carry out expansive vigilance around their banks and keep close watch on suspected criminals who target their clients.
The operations to crack down criminal gangs are spearheaded by Police Directorate of Crime Intelligence through Flying Squad, JET, among others. Preliminary investigations imply that the young adults are inspired by heist movies.
Who are basically inspired by heist videos that they keep watching in some of these movies. And amongst those we've arrested, we've noticed that These are unemployed individuals, youth that are unemployed, and they draw inspirations from these kinds of violent attacks, which they use as a means of survival.
Security believes some penalties could be lenient because many of the arrested criminals are former prisoners and convicts. Police is tracking areas like gyms and other areas where the gangs train.
We must all come together and protect each other. So as the police, we are committed to protecting our communities from any form of violence. We've increased our local engagements with the local leaders, the communities. We've disrupted the training and recruitment of new gang members before they attempt to enter the streets, and we've carried out raids on a number of criminal hubs.
Security has raised the flag on the increased violent obstruction of officers doing lawful duties, which has resulted in loss of lives on different occasions. Abdul Nasser Lugama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
Now, still on matters security, residents of Kampala want increased security deployment within their area to address the threat posed by suspected criminals who exploit dark spots to attack residents. The criminals in this area employ various tools such as pavers, iron bars, weighing scale stones and physical force to incapacitate and rob their victims. UBC TV visited Kampala to investigate the situation.
Motorcycles are the most frequently used means of transport in Kampala due to their efficiency. While this is beneficial for business, motorcycles are also being utilized for criminal activities, sometimes resulting in riders becoming victims themselves.
Twambadde bulungi twesotinze so mukufuna wali obuzukuwa nagwa mu bugali mu bobugali bali babbi bakasukayo bukasusi bugali nembugwamu mukubugwamu ekyantaasa nti saali ku misinde by the way nekintu ky'emisinde kintu kikulu nnyo.
We ventured to the outskirts of Kampala to investigate how border riders operate amidst reports of criminality.
N'okutambula okudda wano ku kamera ne ku ttaawo ly'e Kawaala we wali abavubuka ababeera ababiri, omu abeera ku mukono oguva e Busega, omulala abeera ku mukono guno oguva ewa Bujingo. Basalira kati bw'agera ng'abantu bakendedde ng'abuukayo abaakuteka papers mu ngalo, ebiseera ebisinga kabeera ka laawundi. Kati bw'abuukayo mu kalitunsi mu kiti kya kalitunsi wabadde yeewogomi ng'akuba lumu mu feesi ng'ogwa ng'akwabya ennyindo maaso ng'akugyamu buli ky'olina kyonna.
Riders acknowledge the presence of masqueraders committing crimes.
Kisoboka sebo kubanga naawe abamu abayayo bakusazeeko nga bakulaga nnako bazirina bagala kuyisaamu. Kati sebo naawe batosobola kuvaayo n'ogamba nti wono oba tomulabye.
This situation has prompted riders to revise their modus operandi, including vetting passengers and riding more courteously.
Tuyinza okuba nga tugeze tuli badriver nga mukaaga. Mu driver nga mukaaga nayita ku boda esooka ne muyita omutwalako n'agigaana. Nayita ku yokubiri okuyosatu era najja n'asongamu n'agamba gwe jangu ontwale. Nange nfunamu okutya ng'omuntu. Lwaki oyisenze? Kwera kyali kintuuseeko.
Egyokuneesembereza bano olwayinza kugamba mpisa wano tujja kuweetera wali obwo bwakola mu bwato Luusi California agiyina mu ngalo ate sikuba gaapu yagamba tujja weetera wano okitegeera omwe ayinza kukozesa chance eyo.
Kuno sayidi y'ebibaati eyo ebeera mbi. Ntambula mbaza era nvuga mbaza mbeera mu sayidi mira n'okwetegereza eno bwe ndaba abantu benkugambye abali mu byambalo ebyo kuba bakozesa black. Boda yange sigivuga nga nzirawa mbeera kumpi ku kkubo mu makati nga wentambulira bwe mpita mu eyo area nga nsooka nzira ebbali w'ebibaati.
Residents residing in the Kampala suburb along the northern bypass lament gang activities and exhibited scars resulting from isolated attacks while on their way.
Bamukuba pavers. Tetulina security. Kyekisooka. Ate batwerabira dda balinga batuvaako eneringa island.
I am standing at one of the hotspots within Kampala. Residents say that criminals use this area to plan and execute their missions, with the major target being road users as well as congregants from the Pastor Rujingo Church.
Akuyingiza buyingiza kimuli abanga kaloli. Olukuyingiza ekimuli. Ovaayo gwomanyi.
Singa siba muno baba bajjabuze era batambula butambuzi. Okusooka bibaali balina omuze nga bajja ne beekweka mu bimuli muno ne bakwata abantu ne bababba. Kakati ffe olw'okuba nti guno gwe mulimu gwaffe ogw'ebimuli twagezaako okubalwanyisa okulaba nti tubagoba mu bimuli muno olw'okuba nti abantu bali bajja kwekwasa nti ebimuli z'empuku zaabwe.
But man, now how can someone like hide in this place? What is the possibility?
Ivan, it's very possible because it's a matter of jumping, then keeping low, and where possible, one can even take this and hide into the leaves or perhaps the flowers.
Ate bwe bakubuuta yimbwa oba pavers nga babuuka nga baba ku mukono guno oguva ebwayise ku ssatu nga babuuka nga badda ku guli ogw'ebusega n'eri kyekimu n'eri ku guno omukono oguva ebusega Kawaala.
Despite CCTV camera surveillance covering most areas, residents allege that they have not been helpful, contrary to the police perspective.
Tetumanyi yo government emanyi kyenye ekikolera ku kyababbi akyo naye nga amagezi gaatwesiba.
The cameras, we use them for investigations. That's where we begin from. The moment we see a crime happening in a particular place, using a camera, we begin our investigations from there. So it has been very, very helpful.
Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesperson Patrick Onyango states that vegetation blocking the existing cameras shall be cleared.
We are supposed to go to cases here, get permission to cut those trees down. So if they are there, we are going to alert them to again move around and get the permission to go and cut those trees.
Police have assured the public of increased presence through the deployment of patrols and heightened personnel.
As I speak now, the battalion commanders along that stretch are right now meeting to map out ways on how to police the area and see that criminality in that area is brought down.
You need some kind of skill, because if you're not skilled, man, you have to...
Tony Kent Chaze, Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Well, Tony Kent Chaze and Ivan Kahwa, thank you so much for that report. Now we should be much more vigilant in these tough times. Now, UBC News Tonight does continue. State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamtoro, has joined pilgrims from Nebi Diocese who are on their way to Namgongo Catholic Shrine. Nebi Diocese, which is animating this year's Martyrs' Day celebrations at the Namgongo Catholic Martyrs Shrine, will spend Monday night at St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Parish Church in Matuga. Robert Onyango reports.
State Minister of Minerals Fiona Nyamtoro has on Monday, May 27th, joined the Catholic pilgrims from Nebi Diocese who are on their way to Namgongo Shrines. The minister's journey has added momentum among the pilgrims.
Cabinet Minister, having this experience will help us a lot.
And it was very important that I get time off my busy schedule to come and encourage my people that are leading the prayers this year for Martyrs' Day. So we bless the Lord that everything has gone so far. There are no injuries.
This is a beautiful example of faith. Not everybody can walk. If you don't have faith, you can walk to hypermarket to buy the chicken. But if you have a faith, you just go to the church or to Namgongo Shrine to pray.
For Christians who have been part of this walk of faith since 15th May 2024 are optimistic to make it to the Catholic shrines on Wednesday, May 29th.
I can see our elder 82, my grandmother, made it. Then why not me?
Minister Nyamutoro is in company of Right Honorable Prince Oche Arach, the acting Prime Minister of Alur Kingdom.
But the incoming of religion was welcomed by all the cultural people, if you look back and date back into history. So for me today to be part of this journey, and especially for Alur Kingdom as an institution to be part of this, is a manifestation that culture and religion speak the same language.
It is challenging, but I mean, you get energized by the rest who have gone through the same for days. If they can have the faith, faith is devotion, and faith has never failed anybody. So the fear of the Lord is a generation that we want to rise, and that is why as a young leader, it was important that I come and take lead as an example.
The Pilgrims spent the Sunday night at Bombo. This Monday afternoon have arrived at St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Parish Church in Matuga for a Monday night.
As usual, we are hosting them, giving them accommodation. We have electricity, water, good food, resting, good environment, security.
We thank God the parish priest has welcomed us well. It is our joy that we are closer. After here, we shall be heading to Naguru, which is tomorrow our second last final destination.
But what is that exceptional Nebi Diocese is taking to Namugongo?
The COC has been on their feet ever since they were announced last year that they would be hosting this year. The leaders in the entire Alur sub-region have done tremendous contributions together, and we can't wait for the 3rd of June to celebrate this remarkable day in the faith.
You are going to see something different you have never seen. We are going to sing in Lusoga, we are going to sing in Lubara, we are going to sing in Lunyankore, we are going to sing in Luganda. So get ready, people should get ready to see how Namugongo being led by Nebi Catholic.
On Tuesday, 28th May 2024, this team will settle from Matuga for Naguru in Kampala.
Like Lira is on the way, they might be already in Wobulens. Guru is also following Lira. It's also a big number. We are going to march together as a diocese from Naguru to Namugongo Shrine on 29.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now over 400 pilgrims from across the country have arrived at Namugongo Catholic site to commemorate the 3rd June Martyrs' Day. Among these is one Kenyan national, Egatu Joseph, who said it's his first time to trek to Namugongo. They hope that whatever they pray for will be answered through the martyrs who died for their faith.
Preparations for the forthcoming 3rd June Martyrs' Day are still underway at the Namugongo Catholic site. Over 400 pilgrims from across the country, like Tororo, Kampala, Sorot, among others, have concluded pilgrimage to Namugongo Catholic site.
So I started from Kaberemoid up to Luala, then I go to Diocese Soroti. I moved for 14 days on the way.
A very good distance from Malaba, from Tororo, from Tororo to Bugiri. Now reaching past Bugiri, like I was not unwell, I felt unwell.
According to Sisemuko Bamugoda, the head registering committee at the site, a large number of pilgrims are from Mbara district.
We have received 454. The biggest number are people from Mbarara district, and from Kampala we have 126. However, very many people are coming, and as they come here we register them. We have only received one Kenyan, but he says there are other members coming.
Pilgrims whom it's their first time to come to Namugongo, including a Kenyan national, Titus Odengo, say they have expectations in enhancing their faith.
So as a youth, like I thought it's good to practice what other people have been practicing all these years. So I wanted to feel the experience.
So I come here for praying. I see all the people of Namugongo, those who died in Namugongo suffered. So I also come to pray.
However, those who have been at Namugongo for more than once are indebted in the pilgrimage.
Last time when I came here, I prayed to God to give me a husband. And when I went back, God gave me a husband who married me. I've come back to thank him. Secondly, to thank him for the gift of my daughter.
Gwange gwenziye no mulundu gwako naguno nina kyemfunyemu kusaba kwange. Funyemu enamba y'eryato nfunyemu eryato nfunyemu buli kimu kiri bulwi.
Meanwhile, at Namgongo Anglican Matters site, preparations are also still ongoing. At the site, they are setting up a public address system and cleaning up the place. Those in charge of health are examining traders who will be selling food, eats, and various merchandise. Dr. Jamia Nankabira, the in-charge health in Kira municipality, explained reasons for conducting this exercise.
Sensitization, we are doing it from today up to Saturday, and it has to be continuous. All the workers, maybe now you can come in to prepare food. All those workers are supposed to be medically examined.
Some of the traders who underwent the medical checkup talked to UBC TV.
Because when you get checked up, you prove to be either you have any disease or you don't have. Just because we are going to serve so many people, that is why we have to do that medical checkup.
It's a good idea. They test for typhoid, skin disease, pressure, such things.
Enoch Rukundo is the administrator at the Anglican Matters site.
Different groups are traveling in the different parts of Uganda. We have seen people leaving Nebi, people leaving Lango. Now we have a team from Lango which has already reached here, camping, and we believe that people from the west are also about to reach. So we believe by Wednesday this week, we shall have the different groups come and be able to have an experience of this.
Rebecca Natongo, Deborah Namamunde, UBC News.
Pilgrims coming from different parts of Western Uganda to Namgongo have reached Kampala, and some managed to make a stopover at Mapera Bakayamba's home in Nalukolongo. Sister Maria Annette Mugisha, one of the caretakers of the facility, said they have increased enough care for the pilgrims and continue to have daily evening masses open for the public.
Mapera Bakateyamba home at Nalukolongo, Rubaga Division, is the place where Cardinal Emmanuel Nsubuga was buried in 1991. According to Sister Maria Annette Mugisha from the Good Samaritan Sister, the place is being flocked by different numbers of pilgrims, especially from Western Uganda, including Greater Masaka.
Our pilgrimages from all sides or from all the corners, more especially from the westerners in Mbarara, Kisoro, Kasese, Fort Potro, and the other places. Why? Because Nalukolongo is a special place where the Uganda Matters, where they were baptized from, and the others were died from this place.
Julius Mugisha, a team leader from Ibanda Parish, Western Uganda, shares his 7 days journey experience with UBS Team News.
Our issue of moving from here to Namugongo, we met President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in 2017 in Ibanda in our press. We had worked for him some good way where to support youth and fellows. So we have decided to kneel down and pray to God, who gave us that knowledge to mobilize for him the elections for 2016 and 2021, so that God can help us to reach him.
Sister Maria Annette Mugisha from the Good Samaritan Sisters explains the increasing need for food and water to cater for a large number of pilgrims.
Because at this time, water and electricity are a big problem with us here. So we ask for your support such that we can go through in this whatever we are doing now to cater for these pilgrimages.
Alex Ahimbisibwe, a youth, is among the 90 pilgrims coming from Kanungu District T.
So the journey has no problem. I think even those who think that the journey is tiresome, some people are not Timanya what, but they hide them. No, we don't hide anything from this journey. In fact,
Mapera Bakateyamba's home in Nalukolongo has the relics of the Uganda Matters kept before being taken to Munyonyo Mini Basilica. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Around 450 Kenyan pilgrims have left Busia border for Namgongo Martyrs Shrine They are led by the Right Reverend Father Mudunga Patrick. We have more details on this report.
Another group of pilgrims from Kenya have reached the border town of Busia. They are led by Father Mudunga, who told UBC that they started the journey to Namugongo on 1st May 2024 from different parts of Malindi, Bungoma, Chitale, Kakamega, all in Kenya. From Kenya to Busia so far, they have walked 700 kilometers up to Busia border.
Where some of these pilgrims come, distances will differ, but the farthest is Malindi, which up to this place they have covered over 700 kilometers from Malindi to Busia, where we are at the moment.
And this is their 15th year going to Namugongo Martyrs Shrine. Among these pilgrims is 82-year-old Mama Leticia Modebies, a retired teacher, the oldest pilgrim, and Maureen Wandege, 10 years, the youngest of all.
I'm going this journey for prayers, so I am very happy to God, and I thank Him because He had chosen me to do that work.
We have started the journey from Chambini Parish, and we are heading to Namugongo, where we believe as the Catholics that our faith that the things that we are hoping in our lives will come true.
Father says that the significance of going to Namugongo is that they get a lot of blessings for themselves, their families, and their country, Kenya.
Of big benefit, because this is a special time that Christians set aside to focus their mind on prayer. So it's literally a spiritual exercise. We have left everything else, our homes, our responsibilities, our families, to focus on prayer in memory.
Among the challenges include shortage of food, rain and coldness on the way, but they still believe to reach successfully, and they join the rest of the believers at Namugongo Martyrs Shrine. Abiana Francisco and Sando Martin, UBC News.
And with that story, UBC News Tonight takes a very short break. We return with more stories after these messages.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, EACOP. EACOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
In the Pearl of Africa, we move to many sounds. The sound of new beginnings. The sound of hope. The sound of anticipation. But today marks the dawn of a new sound. The sound of celebration, the sound of thousands of people across Uganda realizing that soon they can dream, play, and win with the Uganda National Lottery. Get ready for Uganda's very own National Lottery, operated by Ituba. Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Oh, yeah, I like to know. Stay fresh. You wanna compete, tell it be my get. Lighting. Lighting. I did make a light to know.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here on UBC News Tonight. Now, in more news this evening, police have met National Unity Platform leadership to harmonize on the party mobilization activities. The meeting was attracted by the recent backlash between security and NUP officials on the party's launch countrywide tours. However, police is still silent on the meeting outcomes. We have more.
The repetitive counterattacks between police and National Unity Platform have prompted the party leadership to meet with police authorities with a protest letter in order to reach an agreement on the clearance of the party rallies and processions.
And they invited us for a meeting. We could have said we shall not come. After all, we've been observing the law. But because we are civil, because we are law-abiding, we said, okay, let's go. To listen to them, but also to put it to them that they keep breaking the law in a manner so wanton. They treat us like we are outliers. They treat us like we are non-entities. And yet everybody else is out there having processions, having their activities undisrupted.
During the harmonization meeting, the party leadership raised a number of pertinent issues for the police authorities to address concerning the party's ongoing countrywide mobilization tours.
The meeting today was meant to harmonize, and we have demonstrated ably to these people that we are not lawbreakers, that we are not even opposed to regulation of our activities. But we told them clearly that we shall not adhere to illegal orders or illegal bans.
Police suspended NUP countrywide mobilization campaigns for non-compliance.
Today the police and the NUP leadership are holding a meeting that is taking place right now to purposely harmonize the implementation of the police guidelines regarding public meetings. You remember very well in one of the letters written by the NUP, they had asked for this engagement so that we can see how they can remain law-abiding and fully comply with the police guidelines for the safety of all Ugandans.
Police authorities still cage to release information on the outcomes of the meeting with NUP leadership. The party has vowed to continue with its mobilization activities despite delayed police response to the grievances presented.
One thing we are not going to accept is to do politics from the bush. So in the regulation, they can only regulate and facilitate and not frustrate. So we have looked at the law and also the practical aspects of politics. We are told them as a party we are registered to do politics, and we shall do politics and do politics the proper way.
Tomorrow, the 28th of May 2024, NUP is expected to have a mobilization rally in Mukono district, and on Wednesday, the trail will lead to Masaka district. Patricia Nandago and Abdul Nasir Lubama for UBC.
Uganda Communications Commission has given a one-month ultimatum to online publishers to have companies registered with the Commission for regulatory purposes. The Executive Director, UCC, Nyombi Tembo, says registration for online publishers will limit incompetent publishers misusing the online platform.
Of passing out news online, you are under our regulatory radar. We want to license you, and after licensing you, we shall regulate you.
The online publishers are required to register businesses. In this process, online radios and televisions, online newspapers, bloggers and bloggers are all affected. The Executive Director, Uganda Communications Commission, Nyombi Thembo, says online publishers take lead in blackmail, which contradicts with the Journalism Code of Conduct.
I've told you that what we see trending on online, if you are not very careful, you are going to be called a group of blackmailers, because blackmailing is taking over all other kinds of reporting. Looks like now character assassins. You read a story, you clearly see that this one was paid by somebody to destroy the other.
Nyombi noted that online content providers need to produce reports of quality, hence calling for objectivity and balance.
Professionalism demands that you are balanced. I think in the journalistic schools, colleges you've gone, I can imagine this should be one of the first principles of journalism. You have to be balanced because you want to give your listener, your viewers.
To this effect, UCC has given a procedure through which online publishers can follow to have their companies registered. This should not be later than 30th June 2024.
Now that you know what the law says, so even when ignorance of the law is no defense as it is, now we've actually no one is ignorant. Now you know the law. We are saying, and we appeal to you, ladies and gentlemen, that use this time before 30th of June to go online and regularize your businesses. Some of you could say this is a short time, but like I told you, this is all done online. We believe if you're committed, you can go through this process before 30th of June.
Regulation through setting laws is significant, where whoever provides online services is required to apply and obtain authorization of online data and communication services.
Under the law, if you broadcast without a license issued by UCC, you are committing an offense. All editors, all reporters put stories that you've not quality assured, and they turn out to be false, they turn out to be malicious, you can be charged, you can be acted upon.
We don't license TikTok, and of course now there is what we call citizen journalism.
Irene Faith Nantongo, Mary Namukose, UBC News.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, EACOP. EACOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
And now into the business scene. Dealers in different items have started securing spaces for business in and around Namugongo Catholic Shrine in preparation for the 3rd June Martyrs' Day celebrations. Now, Susan Naonga reports that vendors have set up stalls of different items like sacramentals, clothing, shoes, drinks, food at both shrines.
Business in and around Namugongo Mata Shrine has started booming with several stalls of different items erected at almost every corner of the shrine. In preparation for Martyrs' Day catch, stalls of items like sacramento, clothing, shoes, drinks and food among others have already been set up. Different decorated items attractive to customers are also on display and visible enough. The businessmen are optimistic that the sales will increase gradually as the pilgrims come through. Inside Namugongo Shrine is a pavilion gazetted for only those dealing in foods and drinks because of their significance in helping Catholic believers in enhancing their salvation through manifestation. Stalls of Sacramento have also been put up.
We are working with the Mapera products like cold cloth, cold water, anointing oil, cold candles.
Sumaiya Najuko, a Muslim, works at one of the biggest shops dealing in Sacramento. The shop sells items of Catholics like rosaries, Bibles and statues of Mother Mary, Angel Gabriel, among others.
So we expect no manises. For the last those years, we have never came back here.
The dealers expect a big sale since they must buy items.
So far it's not moving so well because the pilgrims we are not come. They are started coming, just coming. Yeah, we expect more as we go on, as the week moving on.
The sacramento are sacred objects to Catholics used to support and enhance prayer, though not considered essential for salvation. On the contrary, there is low flow of traffic through Chaliwajala Namugongo to Sonde, with high traffic jam around Namugongo Shrine. Susan Naonga and Juman Samba reporting for ABC TV.
Now, Uganda Revenue Authority, URA, has started issuing out certificates of penalty waivers imposed on traders who had failed to comply with the e-receipting solution. The issuance of certificates kicked off today at URA headquarters in Kampala and is expected to run until the 31st of May 2024. Diana Luenyo has more.
Uganda Revenue Authority has started applying Section 24 of the Tax Procedures Act to waive off the e-freeze penalties.
What I want to refer to in this section of the law, it is only when we admit that this tax was assessed in error, and this time the error we are referring to is because the taxpayers who were penalizing had not fully understood why we are penalizing them.
Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, John Musinguzi Rujochi, explains that they are insisting on implementing the electronic fiscal receipting invoicing system to ensure tax efficiency.
It is your freedom and right to choose what platform you want to use. If you want to use your mobile phone, it is sufficient to help you deal with e-freeze. Download the app, which I believe the team has carried you through, buy a small printer and use that one to issue e-freeze invoices going forward.
Traders still have mixed reactions on the ongoing waiver of the penalties.
We are requesting CG to extend this exercise for not only to be for 1 week. We expect at least 3 weeks so that everyone can go for this exercise and benefit.
Initially, the penalties came in phases. The first was 6 million, even the other one was also 6 million. But plus the interest which were added on them, they totaled up to 13 million. But unfortunately, the certificate I have received is for 6 million.
Traders, particularly in Kampala, had closed shops protesting against the implementation of the e-receipting solution and other tax policies which they had termed unfair.
Dry cleaners and laundry.
The issuance of the certificates of penalties waivers on the electronic fiscal receipting invoicing system follows a directive by President Lauryn Masika, who was meeting traders early this month at Kololo ceremonial grounds.
We tax in order to encourage our people to buy the Ugandan my shirt like this one, so that we close off the kusaka, and if we are to kusaka, we kusaka ebintu ebinene enyonyi byetasobola.
Diano Olwen Peters, UBC News.
The Intergovernmental Authority on Development ministers have met in Entebbe to address quality education for refugees in Uganda. The conference focused on the Djibouti Declaration, emphasized the urgent need for education as a fundamental right and empowerment for millions of displaced individuals.
The fourth conference of IGAD ministers in charge of education centered on educational challenges for refugees in Uganda, where access remains critical yet elusive.
Member states have been working on their own national qualification frameworks, because we believe that it's very important for us to integrate refugees into our communities, and without a qualification framework, some of these refugees are not able to get jobs or even to get opportunities for further education within the region.
The Djibouti Declaration stresses tailored education for displaced populations.
Of course, we know currently we have the emerging issue of Sudan, where there's a lot of refugees coming to all member states. They're coming to South Sudan mainly, to Kenya, to Ethiopia, and Chad, and that's an alarm for us. But that division is dealing with it, and there's a lot of negotiation going on. We're hoping that we'll be able to address the issue of conflict, but through education, educating the youth, giving them opportunities for employment, will help us to get over these issues of conflict, because some of them tend to enter that because as a means of getting income.
By harnessing the transformative power of education, the ministers want every refugee to realize their full potential and contribute to national development.
We are talking about two things. One, the transport, taking them from one hosting country to another, which gives a scholarship. The second is a stipend that they should be getting. We started that actually and placed some number of students in Khartoum.
IGAD members reaffirm solidarity, collaborate on innovative strategies to boost refugee education across the region.
The Djibouti Declaration is looking at how can we make it sustainable and how could we ensure that the quality of education these refugees get is not different from ours. And like say now, those who come when they are mature and they have not completed maybe primary level, we have put a abridged curriculum. Then there is this fast learning, okay, whereby we call it accelerated learning. Okay.
The Djibouti Declaration affirms the collective responsibility to provide inclusive and equitable education to refugees.
Of course, the meeting is targeting how can we, implement the Djibouti Declaration to its fullest. But I think as a country, for us, where we welcome the refugees, we shall continue supporting the refugees as they come in. And as we are getting support from the countries that are supporting us in order to support the refugees, as a country we are benefiting. Even the schools we're having, because the schools that are built are left in Uganda. Even if the refugees left tomorrow, whatever is put here is left here.
The Djibouti Declaration urges prioritization of education in humanitarian and developmental agendas by governments, donors, and stakeholders. Sodat Kaye and Robert Whiter, UBC News.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
And now to the world of sports. Uganda's body charged with organizing corporate entities into sports competition, the Corporate Sports Network, has witnessed its third outing. This was at Makerere University Business School in Nakawa.
Of the Corporate Sports Network has witnessed action at Makerere University Business School in Nakawa. There was football that entered match day 3 and volleyball, in which teams contested their first games.
The good thing about this network is we get to socialize, we get to see other people, we connect, we get to know other people's hobbies, how we fit in, also different businesses.
Basically, it's a good interaction between most of the teams around here. That's what I can say about that.
The highlight in football was the Bankers Derby, in which Tropical Bank edged Centenary Bank by 3-1, with lady player Sarah Jaffa excelling.
It has been a long time that I've been playing with men due to the love of soccer. And I'm really so happy that I've managed to score 2 goals within men. Yeah, that's a great privilege.
The Corporate Sports Network is a newly born initiative that takes pride in its achievements, but with a promise of not resting on its laurels.
We have a corporate social responsibility program that we are lining up. We are reaching out to the community to make sure that we are relevant to our people. We are also helping other people to get on their feet. We have the networking element. We have a networking night every first Friday of the month. Then we also have meetings to improve the league.
It's steadily becoming the go-to not only for exercise but also networking, and in fact attracts big shots from the corporate entities.
Today we are here participating in the Corporate Sports Network, majorly to provide first aid services, but also to challenge our staff to, play and be fit, because fitness is health.
Going into this match day, Tropical Bank stood atop the standings with 17 points. They completed the day in third with 29 points, albeit having played a game less than top place Vision Group that has 30 and second place Uganda Revenue Authority that has 29.
We are participating in the sports network. It's part of corporate social responsibility of the bank, giving back to society, team building activities, networking, and giving back generally to the society.
In volleyball, Uganda Revenue Authority, Rubaga Hospital, Case Hospital, Dumaine Orange, Quality Chemicals and DFCU Bank qualified to the next round.
This year, Rubaga Hospital is also celebrating 125 years. That is our jubilee. And so it is important that we come out here, interact with a lot of our clients, create rapport, and tell them that we are there. We have been serving you for the last 125 years.
UBC News Tonight comes to an end, but do join us for our second edition at 10 o'clock. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Elizabeth Nakakoni. We will see you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Cheers to something refreshingly different. Putting the brakes on a fast-paced world. Slowing down. Just enough to stand out. Cheers to the beer that does it differently. Brewed longer for extra refreshment. Refreshing Club. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Ituba Uganda is here.